I messed up big time. It was not cute. Wow. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chanel and this is Life of Nell if you're new here. So today's video is going to be a sit down video. I haven't done a sit down video in a while. Thank you so much for clicking onto this video. I hope you subscribe and like this video before we even start. So yeah, I haven't done a sit down video in a while, so I kind of feel weird and I'm in a new setting. So okay, like let's just get on with this video. So today's video is going to be my rice water experience, how rice water damaged my natural hair and left me in tears. So yeah, I came prepared. I have a whole exam pad page of how I actually tracked down, or like how I actually got to the conclusion that rice water is what damaged my hair. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this video. I made notes down just so I don't forget anything, and I give you guys a detailed description of like my experience with rice water. And I feel like it's very important for everyone to kind of understand the pros and cons of all of these things, because I feel like everyone just gives you all the pros and it worked for their hair, and you kind of feel like, oh, you know, there's a certain level of FOMO and you go on and do it, whereas it might not work the same way with your hair. So yeah, this is my rice water experience. Starting off in April of this year, I kept seeing influencers on YouTube doing the whole rice water challenge, and I thought, okay, I want to see if this is going to give me the results that everyone is getting. As anyone would with any challenge, I wanted to see if this thing was real. So I went on and prepped my rice water and did all of that in preparation for the application onto my hair. And I was going to do this for 2 weeks, because I remember the influencer I watched did it for 2 weeks and she got like a certain length. So I wanted to see if this was actually true. Bear in mind, there was nothing wrong with my hair at that time at all. My hair was perfectly healthy. I had a very full hairline, like everything was fine. So then April came and I did the whole rice water challenge for like 2 weeks, and in all honesty, I followed the guidelines as per the video I watched, but lo and behold, I did not see any difference from you know, I did not see any difference from using the rice water. My hair did not grow. I did not experience thickness. I did not experience any difference at all in my hair with regards to length or thickness, or like any benefits that anyone had said. And not saying that rice water does not have benefits, but sometimes it may not work on your hair, because we all have different types of hair. In as much as we can have 4C hair, I might be low porosity, you might be high porosity. I may be protein sensitive, you might not be. So just bearing those things in mind, I feel like is very important when following other people's natural hair routines. So yeah, April came. because I didn't see any difference in my hair, I decided, okay, maybe I'm not using it right. So I decided to start using rice water as a leave-in instead of just in my wash day, or like instead of just spraying it on and washing it out after like 3 days. I started using it as a leave-in over a couple of weeks. So this is going on to May. So after April, my 2 weeks challenge, did not see a difference, and then going on into May, I decided to use rice water as a leave-in. Yeah, I think this is where I messed up big time, because I wasn't washing off the rice water regularly and just leaving it in my hair. That's when I started noticing like differences, but then obviously the differences accumulated over time, and they were not like instant, so it took me a while to notice. And in that while, I was still using rice water as a thing, you know, in my hair care routine. So fast forward 3 months later to August, that is when I started noticing that, nah man, my hair is changing. It does not have the same volume. My hair is thinning, and like I am losing hair in the front of my hair especially. So I have a very, my hair texture is different in like the front part of my hair and the back. So the front part of my hair is not as full, is not as thick as the back, and the hair strands are not as thick. So that is where like I felt the most impact, because when my hair started thinning, it thinned way more in the front, so which caused me to notice it a bit earlier, before, like, you know, it got worse. But then by then I had already like developed bald patches and bald spots in like parts of my hair, which was just, it was not cute. So fast forward to August, the changes in my hair became more evident, and then September is when I decided, okay, I need to actually figure out what it is that is causing my hair to fall out, that is causing my hair to break, that is causing my hair to just become so brittle and so like rough that I don't understand what it is exactly that is happening. So I started tracking back to like the products I was using, the routines I was following, and all of that stuff. And in all honesty, I'm a creature of habit, so if there are products that work for me, I really do not change them. So I knew that it wasn't the products that I was using straight away, so that could not have been an option. So yeah, that was my realization kind of in September, and I decided, okay, it's time to get my hair back in track, or like it's time to get my hair back to where it needs to be, at least for it to just carry on growing healthy. And then came the period of research.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Okay, when I tell you the amount of hair loss that I experienced in one or 2 months was so severe that I don't even know what to call it. So this is when I realized that it was actually the rice water that I was putting into my hair that was causing my hair loss, and specifically it's the proteins that are contained in the rice water that cause my hair loss. So basically your hair contains a protein called keratin, and it helps with strengthening hair and elasticity, and too much of that protein can be bad. And honestly, too much of it, in my opinion, can be detrimental, because I experienced the more severe form of like protein overload on my hair. And as much as it's positive and it's good for your hair, too much of it can have a negative effect, in the sense that it could do the exact opposite of what it's supposed to do for your hair. It was then that I realized that my hair is actually protein sensitive. So I am basically sensitive to the strengthening effect of protein, if that makes sense. So signs of protein overload can be dry hair. My hair was very dry, like very dry. As it is, my hair does not like retain a lot of moisture. So when it became so like when it became so dry to the point that I could moisturize my hair now, and it still looks like, okay,
girl, you from the ghetto, like you from the ghetto.
Then it became alarming. In all honesty, I never really looked into being protein sensitive or not prior to anything, but I knew that it existed, but I never thought that I would be one to be protein sensitive. So the changes that I noticed in my hair is that it became very dry, or like the changes that you would notice in your hair when you're struggling, or like you're when you're struggling from protein overload, is your hair would become very dry. You would experience changes in the way your hair feels, and that was the one thing that I kind of that kind of showed me that there was something wrong with my hair, is the way it felt. It didn't feel normal, or like it didn't feel the way it usually feels. It didn't feel, for me, it was healthy, but like it didn't feel healthy. Like it didn't feel as healthy as it usually feels. So this was a change in my texture. There was a change in the thickness of my hair, a change in my hairline, a change in the way my hair tangles. My hair would tangle so much. Every opportunity that it would get, it would tangle. I just started noticing that it was so much more work to detangle my hair than it ever has been in my entire, you know, natural hair journey since my big chop. So it was the dryness, it was the change in how it feels, it was the breakage, it was the excessive shedding that I experienced, that just went ahead and confirmed that, you know what, there is something wrong with your hair, and you need to fix it. So obviously I had figured out that it was rice protein that screwed me over, and I had to figure out a way of using less protein in my regimen, or less protein in the product that I use, and incorporate more moisturizing products and all of that stuff, because my hair was very dry. And one of the ways to combat protein overload was to moisturize hair like intensely, because it needs all the moisture that it can get. And anything that has the word hydrolyzed in front of it is a protein. There's things like wheat protein, quinoa protein, and soy protein that honestly I did not care about until I got protein overload. But like those are just things to look out for when you're looking for like proteins and all of that stuff. So I went into the products that I was using, and I was checking, because I'm like, if these products have been working for me for a long time, I doubt it's them that are causing the protein overload. But I still went in there and I checked them, and I incorporated other products into my regimen that were more moisturizing, and cut down some of the ones that had a bit more protein than I would like at that time. So obviously I cut out rice water completely, because that thing screwed me over. I have kind of given you guys like a backstory as to how I figured out that I had been suffering from protein overload. Well, I'm still trying to combat protein overload, but my hair is looking a lot better than it was a couple of months ago. And then I gave you guys like kind of the symptoms that I had experienced when it came to protein overload, and then I'm gonna give you guys kind of like my solutions, or like things that I have been doing in order for me to combat the protein overload. So the first thing that I did to combat this is I changed my wash day routine. Instead of washing my hair like once every 2-3 weeks, I started washing my hair every week, because obviously I needed to get all that protein out of my hair, and all the buildup. Because one thing that I did notice is I built up a lot of I had a lot of product buildup, or like a lot of buildup on my scalp. I looked more into moisturizing products instead of products that were more drying, or like that contained a lot more protein that I would need in this very time. And then I don't know what number it is, but like, and then the next tip is protective styling. If you know me, you know I always protective style, but this year I have been slacking a bit because I don't know why, but like I went back into protective styling and just doing braids and doing cornrows on my hair, just so my hair is protected. And then when I'd wash it, I would take it off obviously, and then wash it, and then put it back in braids and wigs and all of that. And then the last and final thing that I did was to minimize the manipulation on my hair, so less styling, less just doing things to my hair, because I was trying out a lot of new products by brands and like, you know, all of that. I was doing a lot to my hair. So I decided, no, it's time to give my hair a break. So I stopped manipulating my hair a lot more. So yeah, that is how rice water damaged my hair, or rather rice protein damaged my hair. And I feel like it's very important for everyone to kind of get a sense of what it is exactly, and not necessarily just the la-di-da of rice water can grow your hair really long, but also the effects and benefits of it on different hair types. So yeah, that is my story, and that is something that I wanted to share with you guys. And I feel like it's very important to know, because it's, in all honesty, sometimes it's not worth damaging your hair not knowing what it's gonna do. Because what I thought to myself was, there are so many people who use rice water because influencers use rice water, whereas it doesn't have the same effect on their hair as it does on the influencers. So honestly, it's not worth it. Well, for me, it's not worth it. And it's very important to know things like the porosity of your hair, whether you're protein sensitive, and just do research before trying out, you know, some of these things, because it will bend you over, like it will really screw you over. But yeah, that is it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was kind of boring because I was just sitting and talking, but like, yeah, I hope someone gained something from it. And if you notice that you have been going through, or like you have picked up rice overload, you have picked up protein overload from rice water because you've been trying to grow your hair, my best tip is to stop using rice water and start incorporating some of the tips and tricks that I have given in this video that worked for me, which work for protein overload mostly. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you watched till this far, thank you so much. I hope you subscribe after this video, and I will catch you in my next video. Mwah.